Hi there, Marcus here from 4POS. It's bragging time again, meaning that we developed something new and for us exciting, maybe for you exciting as well. So over the years, everybody has been asking how do we create an e-commerce store or an online store or a store of our products so that we can um, display it to our customers, do online ordering, and obviously process the invoices and everything else in 4POS as well. Now, the background is unfortunately that for us to link to other e-commerce sites is a problem because we do not have access to their way of working. In other words, if we have shrinks and promotions and all sorts of other things in our software, they would not be able to handle that or manage that. So it'll become a permanent job of saying, okay, fine, what is available, what's not available in stock, which items am I disabling um, and have available on my online store or not. So this is the end result of it. We're going to try and step you through all the different processes. What you see on the screen right now is our e-commerce store that customers can place an order from directly. What I've done now is I've just filtered it and said, okay, fine, I only want to look at my software products. Obviously, if you click on home, it will display all your products. You can have banners on there, and I'll try and take you into a little bit of detail about how it all comes together. So as you can see, in terms of the departments here at the bottom, you can click on software, or the customer, the end user, the person buying from our online store can click on that automatically. Um, he can go and select a category from there and say, I want to look at the 4POS cash drawers or the printers or whatever the case may be. Okay. Um, so this is the end product, if I can put it that way. The customer from this side, let's assume that for the moment, they want to buy this item. They can simply click on add to cart. Once they've added to cart, you can see add to cart process has been successful at the top. It shows you for the end user, the customer buying from you or from me, the carts. They can go straight to the cart options there. The price is $4.99 and they can say, well, I want to proceed to checkout. Okay, and now they can go and type in all the information and so on. For now, let me just do ABC here, just to have something in there. Obviously, the province, wherever you might be in the world. Um, let's call it Joburg for now, etc., etc. Next to the tree or wherever wherever they want us to deliver to. Okay, so once all of that information has been entered, and obviously they can put in notes and say, please only come on Monday to Friday or 8 o'clock in the morning until whatever. Now you can place, or they can place the order. Once they place the order, it will pop up a screen and say, well, okay, fine, how do they want to pay now? Okay, they can do a pay fast, in other words, credit card type transaction. They can do a bank transfer. If they do say they want to do bank transfer, it will show them all the banking details that you want them to see, etc., etc. And they can say confirm payment. Once they say confirm, that order will then be processed. It will say on the system as an order that's been done, but unpaid. Okay, so there's your payment pending approval, and the customer's order has been placed, and they can obviously carry on, continue shopping. Okay, so let's go back one step and say, okay, fine, how did I get here? In other words, how did this store come together? If I click on my seller side up here, you'll see this is your seller side. In other words, you as the business owner of this business. You are a seller. You would like to create a e-commerce site. you would like to have products that's available to everybody in South Africa and not just the people visiting your brick and mortar store. In other words, your physical store that you might have placed somewhere. So now you can become a person selling to anybody anywhere. You can set up courier services anywhere, and you can set up your own rules about what you're going to charge for deliveries and so forth. What we've done on our side is we worked out that the courier cost works out to about 1% of total orders received, which means it's insignificant, and that's why we don't charge. Okay. Um, but that is your choice. You can say, well, I want to charge 20 Rand or 75 Rand or whatever the amount is. So let's go start at the beginning at our store, at the 4POS store. Okay. So right here we've got a dashboard, and the dashboard will give us a number of orders that has been placed, a little bit of a graph. This has only been going for a couple of days. So of course you'll see the peaks here. We've had some play items in here, total number of orders and amount of revenue. This is all the information that you'll be able to see on your seller side, in other words, shop owner side. Think of this as a third store, a store in the sky, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, the order that was just placed by this customer over here is order number 82. It's placed. The order has been placed. It's a pending order, meaning that it hasn't been paid for, hasn't been authorized. If I view the order, I can go and have a look and say, well, why and find what is the detail of this, what's this customer order. So this customer ordered the address, or this is the person ordering from us, and they ordered a cash draw insert itself. Okay, and there's their information, the name and address and all the other details that they entered. Okay, all right, and you can obviously print it out now if you want to, or eventually once we go through the whole video, you'll see that how this order, once it's been processed, in other words paid, and so on, it will be automatically be processed by 4POS as well. Okay, so let's just go and see what else you can do as a shop owner. Let's start off at the profile. Alright, so all your information, you can say what currency you work in. So if we have customers from other countries that would like to use the system, they're welcome to. The voucher number in 4POS, if you have one. If you do not have 4POS, you just want to use it as an e-commerce site to test and play around with, you're welcome to. And then obviously you can put in all your information accordingly, passwords that you can enter in there, commission structures that you might be earning, etc., etc., the number of orders that you have and have received, and it will display all orders as we've just seen. It'll also make a list of all the customers that has bought from you in the past. In other words, you keep a nice track about the customers, and you can go and see that, fine, these customers are now loyal customers. I can send them emails. What we will add on later on into this e-commerce shop of yours is options for automatic emails after 10 days of purchase or after 30 days of purchase to say thank you for the support and remind them of any new specials that might be upcoming. Okay, you can add all sorts of banners on the system, which will then be the rolling banner on your shop. Let me just go back there now, and you'll see there right at the top of this screen that I'm talking about. This is the banners. Okay, and you can have as many pictures as you want in there to advertise the products that you would like the users to know of. Okay, alright, so those are your banners that you can add in there. Your products is obviously your product list, and here you can have all your products in there, and you can go and say find each and every product, what options there are. If I go just into the famous 4POS software itself and I go and edit that quickly, you'll see that it caters for a product name, obviously, a brand, number of items in stock. We haven't activated this part yet so that the number of items will come from 4POS, simply because it's all new and smart. So later on what we can do is we can say in your store you want your stock to be updated, meaning that whatever your stock in 4POS is will automatically show up and available on your e-commerce site. Meaning that if you've only got 5 left and you suddenly have somebody buy all 5 items, that they don't they cannot order 6 items. Okay, your selling price on the product, your full description on the system. You might even have option for discounts, and then the full description of the product. In other words, the detail. And as you can see, you can almost go to town with this thing and go and add in as much information as you want. Then furthermore, at the top here, we've got options. In other words, what options are available for the customer. Might be colors or color sizes, things like that you'll add in. Again, we will show you in 4POS how to automatically populate all of these things directly from 4POS, so you don't have to manually go and edit each and every item here on the e-commerce, so it becomes seamless then. The product gallery is obviously your pictures that you would like to have displayed, and 2 pictures are all the same, doesn't really matter. And then bulk pricing you can do as well, and as you can see I have multiple prices. My single item price is normal price 2,999 for the software, but as you can see at the top there, we've added an option in the say, but hang on, we're running a promotion at the moment. You can now buy that for 1,999, argument's sake. Okay, and then at the moment the promotion price is again a pack of 2 of will give me a price of 2,799. Pack of 4, argument's sake, down here will give me a price of 2,499 each, and so forth. Obviously the pricing is not realistic right now simply because we're running a promotion. As you can see there, single price at the moment 1,999, price for 2 is 2,799. We can edit that later and then just send it through to be updated, which I'll do in a minute. Okay, so that is basically what we can do about a product. You can add a product directly straight on here if you want to. In other words, say I want to create a product that might not be on 4POS yet. You will create it later on 4POS, but for now I just want to make this product available for my customer. Alright, and of course you can do the options and the bulk pricing and everything else with that. The categories, you can go and edit your departments or pricing groups for that matter in our case, and you can say fine, these are the items that we have. Okay, so quite comprehensive, I think. We've compared it to a couple of the other e-commerce sites. I think the fact that you can link it to 4POS is the big plus. And then most likely because we're South African and we would like to support our own customers and our own people, we would make it affordable for everybody. The pricing and stuff you'll see on our website, and we'll advertise it as and when we go along. Okay, the idea is to be fair. Okay, we all want to go online. Spoke to a lady in a business the other day, and she's in a small town, limited number of people in the town, etc., etc. She can't just go and have increase her turnover. She might be able to make her business bigger, but she'll still be limited to the amount of people in town to buy from her. But if she takes some of her specialty products and goes online with them, then of course the whole world opens up to her. Okay, alright, so I think that's in principle what I wanted to show you. Of course there's another part, a third part to this whole thing, and in here you can go and see, you can specify from the seller side. We can control who the sellers are, meaning that we can register your business or your seller part of your business to you or for you, give you access to it so that you can start building and creating your own e-commerce business. Okay, alright, so let's have a look quickly on the 4POS side now, the flip side of all of this. Alright, so if I go here now and I go and amend my stock list, as you know, and I go and say, well fine, let me go and look at 4POS software, argument's sake. Alright, and as you can see there, the default selling price is 2,999. we're running a promotion, and the promotions are also catered for. In other words, here, if I go and look at my pricing, um, it's got the standard pricing in of 2,999, 2,799, etc. Okay. All right, so let's go back to detail and show you quickly what we've added. Okay, so this item is now, we've added a new function down here that says available on e-commerce. And only if this is ticked, it will go to the e-commerce platform. All right, it doesn't mean all your products will go. So you can do all sorts of nice, clever little things and say, fine, in my business, I make a very special focaccia, argument's sake, or a very special chicken something, okay, or I sell biltong, or I sell drovors, or whatever the case may be, and say, well, okay, fine, I can't put my whole butchery online, but what I can do is I can put my specialty products online and say, yes, they can order there, all right, and yes, of course, I can go and say, well, fine, and for butchery and biltong type of businesses, they can go and say, fine, I'm going to create an item that says biltong 500 gram, biltong 1 kilo, biltong 1.5 kilos, or whatever the case would be, or numbers of 100 grams. Okay, in other words, I sell biltong in 100 gram, 200 gram, 500 gram as a shrink. You can set all of that up if you want to. Then we've also catered for an extended description, as you can see down here. Quite a long description. The same description that you saw on the e-commerce side is now catered for in 4POS, so that you can go and really put whatever wise words you can put in there to initiate the sale to your customer, your online customer, in other words, making it worth his while to say, but hang on, this is a special product. I definitely want this. Okay. And then in terms of the pictures, as you saw earlier, it's the same concept we had with the touchscreens some years back. We added this option and say that fine, if our barcode number becomes the same number for our e-commerce images. All right. So if I go and look here, I've got an item called 4POS as a barcode. And if I go and look at my history, it will show me which image is associated with that. And that is typically stored in a folder called images. Where are we? Sorry, over here. As you can see, that there's images, or the folder is called images. Let me just go back there. All right, and you'll have all your images of all your products that you might want to sell online. Okay. I looked earlier at a product called UPS, for instance, and as you can see, I've got an item called ups.jpg. Now, back in 4POS again, these items or pictures that we have here must either be a GIF file, GIF, or a PNG, a PNG file. Okay, so if we want to go back and fix that up, let's go and fix that UPS of mine quickly. Alright, so I'm going to say UPS, and that's the UPS 600 volts backup, and I'm going to just look at what the barcode is for that, and it's got a number, and actually, I'll use UPS, but again, it doesn't cater for JPEG, so I can't do that. So let me edit that quickly with Paint, and I'll just say open with Paint. And I'll just say save it as something, as that same UPS, but over here I'm going to make it a PNG file, in other words, something that 4POS can recognize. Okay, and I can save it. Alright, save it and close it, and go back into my 4POS, and in my 4POS I'm just going to type in UPS, which is what the file name is, in other words. Okay, alright, and if I look at my history over there now, suddenly the image appears, and obviously if I upload and download and do whatever I need to do, that will now be updated automatically. Okay, alright, so let's go and do that little exercise then. I'm going to go back to my shop itself. This is again the end users part. I think that might be under accessories or something like that. Yeah, let's go have a look there. Not quite sure. Hang on, let me go back quickly and just see in 4POS. Alright, yes, it's under accessories. Sorry, my mistake. There it is. It's all blank there. There's no picture on it. All right. So let's do the process then. Okay. So from 4POS side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do an update point of sale. Okay. While that is running, I just want to show you we've developed another little app controller, we call it. and And what this app controller does, it will look for any files that you've or products that you've changed on your site automatically in the background. You don't have to go and press buttons and do this and that and the other. It will automatically pick up that there's changes has been done, and it will upload the files to the cloud automatically or to your e-commerce store automatically. Shall I rather say your e-store folders where your information is stored. Alright, so part of what this app controller does, it automatically looks for sales transactions happening on the cloud as well. And if there's any sales transactions there, it will automatically pull it down, run 4POS scan for it, and do the sale and email or however you want to deal or transact with your customer from there. So that's the upload part. Again, let's go and have a look on the cloud. So on the cloud side, I'm going to go back to my seller business again, and I'm going to go to all products. And I want to say I want to add a product, but in here I want to import now directly from my 4POS. Remember now that we made the change on that UPS item of ours, and I want to be able to see if that UPS is now changed. And as you can see on here, you can browse down your list and go and have a look at all your products that has been uploaded. Alright, so let's upload that quickly. On this page you'll see it will delete the existing items and re-import it from scratch, because there's so many parts of the item that you could have changed, maybe added some options, maybe added some bulk pricing, etc, etc. So it basically deletes it for that minute or two and then re-imports it from scratch in there. Alright, gives me a summary at the top, a little bit quick, but yes. Alright, so now that I've got my UPS on the screen, you can see there that it's imported it correctly. Okay, now that it's been updated and the customer, the user, the person who want to buy your products have refreshed the page, you'll see that your product is now displaying there correctly. Okay, that in a nutshell, other than getting involved in the sales part, is the system. Sorry, one more thing I just want to quickly show you. On 4POS now, for those products of ours, we've also created some promotions. We'll add to this list. We just called our promotion 20 years on, because 4POS has been around now for 20 years. And we thought it would be a good idea to give you guys some possible promotions on there. So yeah, so we've added in some software promotions, 1,999 on all the software. On the printers, the Bluetooth printer dropped the price down to $599. The credit card pin pad dropped down to $999 compared to $1,999. So quite a big saving on that, and we'll add some more items as we go. And then of course on your promotion you can say from when the promotion starts until when the promotion runs, and accordingly the prices will be automatically switched off after the promotion has ended, or at any stage that you choose to change it. Okay, that in a couple of minutes, or maybe more than a couple of minutes, is our 4POS e-commerce add-on, for want of a better word, that we can advertise. Please let us know if there's anything else that you would need. Welcome to send us a WhatsApp, or alternatively send us an email at support@4pos.co.za. Hope this is what you've been looking for. Enjoy.